most of us, the information that is being processed by these government systems, we get affected in one or the other. You find you own a vehicle, and that vehicle, your information pertaining to you as Julius will be seated there on the RATSA system. Okay? And that, it doesn't really have to be a civil servant, it's actually the entire public. We have our information exposed out there. So how do we ensure that that information that is contained out there, there's actually someone who's protecting that information to ensure that confidentiality is upheld, and also just the integrity of that information and the individuals attached to it. So it's only this audit that gives that assurance that, in as far as we are concerned, looking at the road safety, road transport and safety agency systems, can we give assurance to the public that indeed these systems are secure, these systems have really kept information in a confidential state, and we can't have any other outsiders, be it the people that are maintaining those systems, the people that are coming to look at those particular systems from outside. There's no one who has access to this confidential information that is being processed from there. But above it all, we know that there's also these acts that we have come up in as far as IT space is concerned. We have the Data Protection Act, we have the Electronic and Transactional Act. So all these acts are there to see to it that, in as far as ICT is concerned, in as far as information being processed on this system is concerned, there's an aspect of security being attached to them. So these reports also bring out the compliance aspect. Are institutions complying with these particular acts that have been put in place to ensure that the ICT systems are actually working as intended? So those are some of the reasons that the public need to look out for these particular reports and see what is contained and what assurance levels are we giving, be it for local authorities, parastatal, as well as central government.
Don't you think it would be important for your office to do a research with regards to what you just responded, how secure as vital information sitting on different platforms, which is leading to most of these criminal activities that are popping up every other day, receive unsolicited messages, things like that. And then if you have to protect the department, there you have to protect the public, and then you have all those all that information. Can't you use that mandate that you have to point to certain institutions that might have for us data protection, so that is affecting the public in some way?
Yeah, that's true, Julius. At one point, we actually did conduct a compliance audit on just the governance of ICT systems. What we observed was, as we go from institution A to institution B, we have a system in institution A, institution B. Probably they need to talk to each other, but they don't talk to each other. So we had a number of all these institutions. And then when we sat and asked ourselves as an office, we go into this institution, there are these irregularities that we are bringing out, okay? But are we going to proceed and just look at these irregularities like that, or we should just do a step back and look at what is the root cause into all these irregularities that are coming? And at that particular point, we said, what is the proper avenue for us to proceed and look at how best can we get to the root cause of these ICT irregularities across government institutions? And we said, you know what, let's proceed and do a performance audit. We do a performance audit just looking at the implementation of ICT system across government institutions, and also just look at the governance structures that we do have in just administration of these ICT systems. So that is just to agree with you, Julius, that if we have irregularities pertaining to the way information or the security aspect attached to this system, yes, as an office we can do a step back and look at the root cause, and that can be done now through a performance audit to just look at how are the ICT systems performing and how is the security aspect, what is causing some of these issues to get to a point where we have those security breaches that we may have.
Thank you. And I have to let you go for now. But just before that, Mr. Mulenga, with regards to how the public can engage you and also work with the public, how much information are you engaging? How much time do you take to sensitize the public with the activities of your unit?
I think we, as the Office of the Auditor General, I think this is the reason why we are here. I think it's important that we interact as much as possible as we can with the public. I think it's a deliberate move to say we need to be more visible. We need to be more visible, but I can say that our toll-free line, that's the reason also why we brought it on board, so that citizens are able to interact with us freely. But also our doors at the Office of the General are open. We actually do interact with a lot of citizens, and of course we make sure that whatever we receive or deal with is handled with the utmost confidentiality it deserves. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And with regards to the ICT audit, maybe I should say we have your presence in all the 10 provinces. Are these 2 units also at provincial level as well?
So the 2 units are currently not at the provincial level. They are at headquarters. But needless to say, we have deliberate initiatives that we have implemented as an office to see to it that these skills are also reaching out there in the provinces. For argument's sake, when you look at local authorities, we have a number of councils in each of these particular provinces, and it is not possible that the team that is based at HQ would proceed to go and look at almost all the councils, all the parastatals sitting across the provinces. So what we've done is that as an office we have built capacity as well to our local, to our provincial auditors, such that they may proceed and do the preliminary review of these particular systems. If it is complicated, that's when now they can engage our team at HQ and we evaluate if it's really something that will require a team from HQ to proceed and be able to go and look at those particular systems, or we use these particular individuals that we have trained in the provinces. We actually call them champions, which is basically like the first line that the provinces will be able to interact with before it actually gets to us. So with all our provincial offices, there are champions that we have trained in as far as IT audit is concerned, and it's our plan as well to ensure that forensic also moves like that. But nevertheless, for some of the forensic cases, you find we do work with our provincial office. So even if a case can be being done from HQ, you find in formulating our teams, we do incorporate the provincial office to be part of those. In so doing, it's also helping to build capacity in our provincial office to be able to do a certain level of forensic, even as they are in those respective stations or provinces.
Right, thank you. I'd like to thank you so much for making an appearance on our program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There have it, our viewers. Those are my expert presentations from the 2 experts that we had on the auditor and due radio and television program, as we looked at the last 2 audit types of audits that are undertaken by the Office of the Auditor General, and all this is in an effort to enhance accountability in government institutions and all spending agencies. I had with me Mr. John Mulenga, Assistant Director, Forensic and Investigations Unit, who's on my immediate left, and on my far left is Mr. Brighton Patsha, Director, Specialized Audits Directorate. I was your presenter, Julius Musmali and Jason Manda, on sign language interpretation. On behalf of the entire production team, we'll see you next week, same time.
Constituency Development Fund, CDF, is a government budget allocation mechanism that channels a specific portion of the national budget to the constituencies to finance developmental projects such as school facilities, health facilities, and water supply systems are among the many. As a development financing mechanism, CDF is appreciated because it is perceived as an appropriate tool for the effective delivery of projects, direct financing of community development, facilitation of local population in development, and also responds directly to the development demands of the constituencies. And in a bid to take service delivery closer to the people, government decided to increase CDF allocation from 1.6 million in 2021 to 28.3 million kwacha in 2023. Parliament broadcasting crew traveled to Rufunsa recently and had an opportunity to tour some of the CDF-funded projects. The crew caught up with Mr. Cosmas Ngulube, professional assistant at the Rufunsa Constituency Office, who explained the role of Constituency Office regarding CDF.
Our role in CDF as an office is basically facilitatory. What I mean by this is that, as you may be aware, CDF is being managed by the local authority, but I think the Member of Parliament sits in the subcommittee that watches over the disbursements of the same funds. So what we mean by facilitatory, we sit in as support staff together with the Member of Parliament in the CDF, but though not active participants, because when the Member of Parliament is sitting in the committee, we are not supposed to sit in. But we sit in as support staff just to ensure that we follow the proceedings and also identify certain salient issues that we think we need to capture for a reminder that he needs to make follow-ups on. So basically that is what our role is in CDF. In short, I can say we are like watchers. We want to see how the administration of that fund is being administered across the wards. Is it being shared equitably, but also is it being shared efficiently? Like also, for example, when they are trying to award contracts to people that are going to do these projects, we also have an interest to see to it that they make sure that they use our local contractors so that the benefit can trickle back into the local communities. But also we also do the monitoring of the same projects, like for example when they are running, just to ensure that the materials are being delivered at the stipulated time and the project is being concluded maybe under the agreed timelines, but also ensuring that even the payments are also trickling accordingly. So we also act like watchers in that sense.
The crew later on talked to Mr. Andrew Mutelo, councillor of Bundabunda Ward, who gave an insight on how Rufunsa residents understand CDF.
Yes, CDF, yeah, it is outspoken, and a lot of people on the ground are still learning about this animal code CDF. Unfortunately, looking at the vicinity of this ward, it's the biggest ward in this district and the most populated ward, and the task is upon my shoulders that I need to make sure that the information reaches to its intended purpose, who are the residents of this ward, like I've said. Unfortunately, it was not announced. People don't still understand what this CDF is all about, and hence there's need, I think, to put in some more resources so that there should be workshops, programs to sensitize even the remotest areas of this ward so that people can access this so-called CDF programs and components that are in different categories.
The crew proceeded to Kankumba Secondary School, where there is an ongoing construction of a laboratory structure, and Mr. Vincent Pulu, the school head teacher, had this to say.
Behind me, as you can see, is a structure that is fully sponsored by CDF. I feel privileged because this is a gift to this school. It will definitely benefit the school, the children, including us as teachers. Not only that, but even the district as a whole. You know that CDF is actually a constitutional fund. So if you are picked to benefit from it, I think that's a rare opportunity. And for us as a school, we feel humbled and honored to be given this huge structure. It is actually a 1x2 laboratory structure.
Chipindani Primary School in Rufunsa Ward has benefited in receiving school desks under the CDF allocation and a 1x3 classroom block, which is still under construction with works at 65%. Nyampande Health Post has ongoing works of a 1x2 semi-detached staff house at a cost of 938,262 kwacha. The construction works for the housing project, which is currently at 85% completion, is under Triple V Property Investments, and registered nurse Ms. Abigail Namaiko, working from the health post, shared how staff will benefit once the construction works of the houses are completed.
The construction started this year, somewhere around February. And the houses, they're almost done. It's helping us, especially the staffs, to start with, because like where we stay, it's very far from the facility. You find that there's an emergency, for you to reach the facility, you find that it's already too late for the client.
Chintimba Ward has benefited in having an additional mortuary and a mother's shelter, which has been successfully completed at St. Luke's Hospital at a cost of 1 million kwacha. Sister Goreti Piri, the administrative assistant officer at the hospital, shared her feelings.
This project has really lessened our burden, more especially with the mortuary, because at first our people, or the people who are dying in our hospital, the mortuary which we were using before was very small, and sometimes it was not, keeping a lot of people even for quite long because of the capacity of the building itself. So we used to take some of the bodies to Chongwe, sometimes to Lusaka, so it was really a burden for us. As you know, this place is located along the Great East Road, where most of the accidents are happening near Manenekela Hills, or sometimes somewhere in Machansanje, Luangwa, between Luangwa and Lukwepa. So really, with the coming of this new mortuary, we are really grateful to the government of the Republic of Zambia, because now our people, our dying relatives, will be kept in a decent way as we prepare to bury them. So we are really grateful that we have this new infrastructure, which is even connected to the national grid, which is a plus for us. So far, this mortuary has a capacity of more than 10 bodies, which is good. We therefore appreciate very much to the government, in particular our Member of Parliament here in Mpansha Rufunsa District.
In concluding the tour, Engineer Natasha Sambwa, who is also Deputy Director of Works at Rufunsa Council, gave an insight on the 2022 CDF projects in Rufunsa District.
Concerning the ongoing projects that we have for 2022, I can say that it's been successful, because most of the projects have been completed. The remaining projects that we have currently, maybe by mid-month, and also be done. The challenge has been when it comes to the delayment of execution of the works by the contractors, because we don't have the materials in Rufunsa, so they have to buy materials from Chonga and Lusaka, then transport them. So also the rain season, because most projects were being awarded during rain season, so some roads are really bad, which connect to where the projects are. But other than that, it's been successful. We are up to date, and I can say that we have done a good job. The women have been given the grants, and others the loans, and we have seen them being able to, their businesses have been viable. We have been able to go around and see what they have done, and it's been great seeing that our people are all benefiting.
As the rollout of CDF projects continue in the constituencies, it is every citizen's dream to see the improvement of many facilities that will improve or ease their lives.
Wangu, La Liga Top-Star imwe. The 2024-2025 La Liga season is back on Top-Star. Are you a fan of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Sevilla or Atletico Madrid? Starting August 15, don't miss out on your favorite football stars Mbappe, Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., Lamine Yamal and more as the battle for the Spanish football crown. But wait, take advantage of the winter load shedding solution to enjoy massive discounts before promotion ends on 15th August. Quickly pay 1 month of your current bouquet and get upgraded to the next. Pay 1 month on Antenna Classic or Dish Super and get 5 extra free viewing days. Download the StarTimes Own app and enjoy La Liga on the go. So hurry now. Pay 1 month. Top-Star. Pay less, get more.
The admission to the inner bar highlights valuable contributions to the legal profession and tireless efforts of upholding the principles of justice and fairness within the Zambian judicial system. It is for this reason that 5 senior lawyers who have distinguished themselves in the practice of the law in the country were admitted to the inner bar on Monday, 17th June 2024 at the Supreme Court by the Honorable Chief Justice Dr. Mumba Malila State Council. Those that were admitted to the inner bar are Speaker of the National Assembly of Zambia, the Right Honorable Miss Nelly Bikemuti MP FAPRA, Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security Honorable Jack Mumbu MP, Electoral Commission of Zambia ECZ Chairperson Mrs. Zalomis Mwangala, Mr. Musa Abdullah Ashad and Mrs. Chibuya Sakala. This follows their appointment by His Excellency the President Mr. Hakainde Hichilema to the rank and dignity of State Council on 13th March 2024. Speaking after being admitted to the inner bar, Speaker of the National Assembly Ms. Nelly Muti MP FAPRA State Council said being conferred with the honor and dignity of State Council is a turning point in her professional career and a reward for many years of hard work, dedication and contribution to the legal profession.
Well, for me, it's added responsibilities. I've been a lawyer for 44 years and now in my 44th year I'm being admitted as State Council. That means more responsibility on me, and also in terms of upholding the rule of law. And since this rank of honor and dignity of State Council means you have to uphold the rule of law, protecting the citizens from unnecessary harassment, and also ensuring that the law is upheld, and also mentoring the young lawyers. And when we talk about mentoring, not only the female but also the male lawyers, because we need to mold our profession so that it continues to uphold very high standards in terms of the professions and expectations from the people. For me, I've already started my mentoring program. I have introduced through the Nelly Muti Foundation a program whereby I give an award to the best graduating female student in each law in the law school, and so far we have given awards to 3 best performing students in the law school. And as I said, we also start looking at how we can mentor the men, because my responsibility is not only to the women, but also as a leader I need to look at both genders. So it's added responsibility, means I have whatever I do now, I'm not just an ordinary lawyer. I have to look at my status as a State Council, and everything I do, it should be above board, should be dignified, even in terms of how I conduct myself, the things I say, what I wear, everything now has to change. Of course, already I have added responsibilities in terms of being the Speaker. So my role as a Speaker and the State Council, then people expect more a high caliber from me as a person, not just as an ordinary citizen. So it's quite exciting. I've waited for this for too long, and in my life all I thought was being a lawyer, once I'm in State Council then I can retire. but now it looks like I'm not retiring, but more added responsibilities have been placed on my shoulders, and I pledge to do my best under the circumstances. It's an ongoing process. We are learning. We expect it to be molded by the state councils that have already been there. We'll learn from them, because learning is an ongoing process. But it's very, very exciting for me, I must say.
Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Honorable Jack Mumbu MP, said that the admission to the inner bar status comes with enormous responsibilities.
This particular appointment as State Council is a privilege on my part, which I must cherish and utilize it for the benefit of the nation. It's a big responsibility on my part to ensuring that I protect the laws of this country as currently enforced, and to ensure that the rights of citizens are protected. It is also important to know that this particular confinement has come at a time when I'm serving as Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security. The responsibility is greater, for you are aware that this particular ministry deals with the rights of individuals and the associations as they try to exercise their rights that are enshrined in the Constitution. It is therefore incumbent upon me as Minister of Home Affairs, who has been given this privilege of being State Council, to ensure that I utilize this conferment judiciously and in the interest of the nation.
Law Association of Zambia LAZ President Mr. Lungisani Zulu talked about the significance of being admitted to the inner bar.
The inner bar is the highest level of qualification for a lawyer, and this is preserved for members that are called as State Council. Every lawyer, when they are being admitted to the bar, have to go through a process of being called to the bar by the Chief Justice. So every lawyer is called to the bar after Ziale. Once you distinguish yourself as an eminent lawyer, as a top-notch lawyer that the state can run to, that can give guidance, you qualify to be appointed as State Council. This is a preserve of very few senior members of the legal profession, and those that are then selected and appointed by the President will then go through a process of being called to the inner bar. So today we were seeing the 5 State Council who were appointed by the President being formally admitted to the inner bar, so that they can discharge their professional obligations as senior members of the bar, as State Council available to guide in different areas of the law in this country. For us, it's an exciting day, because the inner bar presents a leadership that is available not only to the lawyers but to the entire country. So we celebrate that 5 new State Council have been appointed and have been admitted today into the inner bar.
The esteemed rank and dignity of State Council symbolizes a profound commitment to public service, as it transcends mere legal practice to embody the highest ideas of fairness, equity, and compassion.
permitted the Honorable Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security to make a ministerial statement. The Honorable Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security.
Madam Speaker, let me thank you for giving me the opportunity to make a ministerial statement on the investigation into the murder of Mr. Guntila Mulea, Director General of the Independent Broadcasting Authority. Madam Speaker, the brief facts are that on 24th July 2024, at approximately 10:30 hours, Woodlands Police Station received a report through a phone call from a concerned member of the public in Njorwe area. He reported that at around 20 hours, he had observed a vehicle which appeared to be a Pajero with its doors open. Shortly thereafter, he heard gunshots. The following morning, on 24th July 2024, at approximately 10 hours, while on the way to work, he discovered a body of a deceased male person on the ground. The Zambia Police Service promptly visited the scene of the crime, located near Palavana and Napsa housing complex along the gravel road. The body of the male person was found handcuffed in a pool of blood with 2 bullet wounds, one on the back and another one on the head. Also found on the crime scene were 2 bullet cartridges and an identity card bearing the name DM Guntila Mulea, Director General, Independent Broadcasting Authority. A docket for the case of murder has been opened and investigations are currently underway. So far, 5 suspects believed to be connected to the murder have been apprehended. Among those apprehended are 2 regular police officers. One is a reserve police officer, while the other 2 are members of the public. One of the 2 members of the public is a staff member at the Independent Broadcasting Authority. All the 5 individuals are currently in custody and are being interrogated to gather more information. Madam Speaker, in addition to the arrest, the Zambia Police Service has seized 2 motor vehicles, 3 firearms, 2 pistols and an AK-47, cash totaling 129,300, assorted knives, and various electronic gadgets including phones, hard drives, and flash disks from the suspects. Further, police have recovered 1 VXL Prado motor vehicle belonging to the victim. The investigation into this matter is progressing well, and we would like to assure the public that they will be informed on any other outcomes in due course. However, we are mindful that premature disclosures of certain details may jeopardize the ongoing investigations. Forensic teams have been working meticulously to collect and analyze evidence from the crime scene. This includes physical evidence,